Hello and welcome back to the Shifty Loser Sim Racing Adventure Assetto Corsa Competizione here on Two Rogue Gamers. Now, if you'll remember in the last race, we turned off the ideal line, or the racing line, depending on what game you play. That was very, well, ambitious of us. We did say we would do it at Spa, and we have. And just to let you know, I have continued it here at Barcelona. Why the hell not? As you can see, a 3-hour race, but we are playing on the shorter setting, so here we go. Straight into Q. Well, this is the final qualifying. I almost said Q1. Would it be the final of the endurance season? There was no point showing the first two. They were slower than this. Obviously, by this point, I'd done many laps on this circuit, so, you know, I was quite good at it by now. In P1, for instance, I was shockingly bad, missing every braking point. Bear in mind, I don't know what those braking points are. Now, I do know the Barcelona circuit from the F1 game. Well, all 3 years of what I played on there, so I do know that. As you can see, I have chopped and changed through. I won't show the full lap, many laps in the race for you to see. So I thought, you know, solid. Why bother at this point? Why bother at all? However, this was very good. I enjoyed it. I am enjoying not using the driving line. Now, the season after this, sadly, does come to an end. This is the final race of the career mode. Only 10 races, I feel. Very disappointing, to be perfectly honest. Very disappointing. However, after this, I think we'll go and do the championship instead. I'm not sure how it works. It said the career mode is 100% complete at the end, so I'm not sure what happens now. I will have a quick look, a peruse, if you will, just to see what's going on there. If it is just a case of starting again, obviously I won't. I'll just do the championship. Why not? Well, there you can see the combined time altogether put us in 3rd position, which was remarkable. 5th and 6th were the positions, I believe, of the Shifty Loser and the Creepy Wizard there. But there you can see, 30 minutes. I was so relieved when I saw it was only 30 minutes in this race. I was very worried it would end up being another 3-hour one like Spa, where we did very well and then got shafted at the end. Well, here we go in the incorrect queuing. I'm still using the Euro miles. I know I've made a thing of that. I could have changed it. I do know where the setting is. I just find it quite funny, and I'm quite used to it now. Anyway, I probably will change it at some point to miles per hour. Just because it gives me a better perspective on what it is I'm doing, even though I probably do understand kilometers per hour anyway. Ultimately, the United Kingdom is in Europe, so, you know, I've been there many times. I do get the way that they work it out. I quite like the idea that the United Kingdom uses both the metric system, and of course, the imperial system, a kingdom and all that. A kingdom. Well, here we go, lights out, and we're flooring it. We started in 3rd position, but if you look to the left of us there you can see the blue car coming pounding through. Now, at the start of this season, I would have hated this, and I would have just gone darting in on the inside and not cared about crashing, but I believe I have grown as a driver. Very close to hitting him there, but I assure you I did not. I just fell into the line of cars, and I figured I'd bide my time. Once you're not playing with the racing line, it becomes an awful lot different. I'm not going to lie, you're way more cautious. I feel like I'm quicker. I feel that I'm quicker, not just trying to aim for the line and braking when it says. Possibly the line says to play it safe, I don't know, but, you know, when you're not using the line itself, you start pushing those braking points, which in this race I did push a little bit too far. Obviously I've cut the race down. I didn't want to make a full 30-minute video. There's no point, none of you watched that far, so, you know, why bother? I'm going to try and cut it down to around the 20-minute mark and try and find a way to keep you viewers enthralled. I'm not sure why you're not anyway. I'm a very funny man. Oh, which brings me on to the point. I haven't given the cow joke yet. I am running out of cow jokes. I will need to find another animal. However, here goes. Why do cows have hooves and not feet? Because they lactose. That's another classic, another absolute classic. I will find more for you. I will find more going forward. We'll make this a thing now. We've done 3. I did one on the F1 video over on Less Than Marv. You should probably go and check that one out. That's a remarkably funny one. I do intend to keep this rolling though. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? I will find different animals. I'm sure that there's a finite amount of you know, jokes for the cows there. So potentially we'll look at pigs next. Why not? If any of you know any good pig jokes, do leave a comment below. Do leave a comment. And there we are at the end of lap 1. We did get our place back, however we did bully our way through, I feel. So it does show us in the 3rd slot. However, something strange happens later in this race where I'm still in the same position I am now, however winning, which is funny. I'll point it out when it comes up. We are doing rather well. I'm quite pleased with the way this race is going so far. the circuit's it's working quite well for me. The car's doing rather well. Now the tyres are almost up to pressure, just that front right. Still down on pressure a little bit, but this is a very lefty circuit, I feel. Well, except for that corner, of course, and this next one. However, this, well, it does. It takes a lot of pressure. Whenever you're going around the right-hand corner, all of the pressure there, all of the mass of the car is pushing down on the left tyres. I mean, this corner, with the tyre being low pressure after going around there, you do feel it now and again. I did take that one rather tight. I did try and avoid the curb somewhat. Even when the tyres were up to pressure, it was still a bit of a nightmare. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. I did like this corner though. Initially I tried just swooping around this in third, and I did achieve it a few times in practice, just trying to speed it up there, but I quite like the feeling of the control of the car in second gear as you power out. Now in Formula 1, going around that little corner before, that's very sketchy. Slight too much power and the car just spins away. In fact, in the series I did, I'm doing over on Less Than Marv. In fact, if you go back and watch there, you'll see on that corner I did in fact bin it when I was on Barcelona. I do leave it in the video, of course. I don't cheat. I don't use the rewind button or anything like that. So, you know, and I will be moving on the F1. Not the race that's coming up next, but the one following that will not have the racing line as well. Sorry, I figured why not? I'm going to learn. I'm going to practice. There are many sim racers out there that do have channels on YouTube. I have been watching a few lately. They are very good. Very, very good. I don't feel I'll ever get to their level. However, I am going to get good at this game. Assetto Corsa, I said it earlier on, I intend to get very, very good. I am going to compete with them. I am. It's my new life ambition. Time is not on my side. As you get older, your reflexes, they slow down a little bit. However, I do feel I'm picking up the actual sim racing. Now I have the wheel and the pedals, I do feel I'm picking it up rather well, and I do intend to get outstanding at it, and I do intend to compete online as well. But I feel I need to get better. I'm not going to get ahead of myself just yet. I do feel that's a good year away, but I'm going to spend that time getting very, very good. However, the only issue I have, I feel they play these the simulators way more than I do. I play on a Sunday. That's it. Every race I've done on Assetto Corsa, you've seen. The videos are up there, and there are only 10. That's literally it. I haven't been into the actual championship yet to have a look. I haven't even done a fast lap. Oh no, I have. I showed my friend the game. So I did a lap and then let him play, and that was just on a standard, I think it was racing one other person. I wasn't sure how to set it up, so anyway, he just wanted to drive around, so that was that. But yeah, I do need to do a bit more of it, but it does take time. It does take time, so when I do decide to compete, I feel I'll just take some time away from my normal duties in life and give myself some time, like a week off maybe, and just sit and hammer it out, pick a circuit I want to race on and learn the shit out of it. Probably a circuit I don't know. That would probably be better. Somewhere like Zolder. The first time I've ever actually played any game with Zolder on it was this. I'm not sure if it's the first game Zolder's ever been on. I wouldn't want to claim. I simply don't know. However, that was the first time I'd raced on it. Even Brands Hatch, to an extent, I don't know the circuit. I feel I've raced on it before, and probably a Gran Turismo sometime, I don't know, but it seemed at least a little bit more familiar, and I have in fact been to Brands Hatch, so seeing it in real life may have played a little part. I haven't walked the circuit though, so, you know, I don't have the telekinesis. But if you look, maybe the other guy's just pitted in. Maybe that's what it is, but it shows now that I'm in first position, and I don't recall overtaking anyone. So potentially they did go in the pits earlier than I did. This is a stint based. I will show the entire first stint for you. I'm not going to shy away from that. I figured with the last routine it seems to be the way to go. I will cut down the other two, however. But the first stint, even though this bit's all kind of boring, you know, it is the start of the race, and I feel I raced it rather well. I was quite pleased with myself, especially watching the video back now. Yes, it's in 1/8 quality, but I feel I did good. I did good. It looks very smooth. I'm hitting most of the apexes. I thought I was going to say it there and it'd all go wrong, but it did not. It did not. That was a bit much on the curb. It did offer a bit of squeal under the tyres. Not as much traction coming out, but so far, I'm doing rather well. I do need to get faster. There's no doubt in my mind about that. I definitely need to get faster. But I will. As I was saying earlier, I absolutely will. I absolutely will. Anywho, that's enough about racing. We've got to move on now to our Sunday political segment, the obligatory political segment. Why the hell not? So, on to the boats. The boats. The Iranian ship that was captured by the UK, well, Gibraltar apparently, not the UK, has now been released. It's still in port in Gibraltar. They've renamed the boat. Oh, I went miles off the circuit. After bigging myself up That's quite funny. Ha 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 ha. Well, I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed. But I'm leaving it in. Why not? Warts and all. That's what I say. Warts and all. Anywho, back to the boats. Yes, the Gibraltar people, or Gibraltese, I think they're referred to now. They've released the Iranian ship that's now changed its name and changed its flag. I'm not sure of them. I could check for you, but, you know, I can't be bothered. Anyway, they've changed the name. They've changed the flag to an Iranian flag now instead of it being Panamanian. The Americans are remarkably pissy about this. They really didn't want it releasing. Now, it feels a bit odd to me as well. It does. I'm glad we didn't just steal the oil, because I kind of thought that we were going to. There's a lot of oil on that boat. It is in fact a massive tanker. I think the Americans want to seize the oil and everything else that's on board. However, I quite like the fact that we did not. You know, no theftery here. No theftery here. But yes, it's been released. It's still in port. Apparently it will be leaving tomorrow. Or tonight even. So, I'm not sure. Sometime around then. This video has been made on Sunday morning, by the way, so it could well be gone by the time this video goes up on Sunday afternoon. Anywho, we're releasing the boat. There's no word from the Iranians on whether or not they're going to release ours, and there's not even been any word from our government, just the Gibraltese. I know that our government, or parliament rather, is in recess, but I would suspect that Boris would have something to say, but he's staying quite out of this. So it makes me think, is there something larger at hand? And there's still been no update on Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe. No update there for you. I'm sorry. I wish I had some news, but I do not. As you can see, look, I'm catching the other cars in front now. Sorry to break away from the politics. Sorry to break away. But this must mean that these chaps, I could lap them. That's what that means. That's what that means. Now, I do want to draw your attention down to somewhere between where it shows the tyre pressure and the speedometer of the car. That's right, the fuel. Right there. That's when I should have pitted. That's when I planned on pitting. And I don't feel I did. Doesn't seem overly likely that 1.5 litres of fuel will get me around a lap that takes 3 litres of fuel. And at this point I'm still unaware. I was very, very excited that I could possibly get these chaps. That's what got me going. I started figuring, if I am in first place without overtaking the guys in front, then these cannot be the guys in front. Therefore, I could lap someone, and it just made me giddy. I lost myself. Very upset with that. It's very disappointing, to be fair. Even at this stage, I was unaware of how little fuel I actually had. It's only around the next couple of corners that it becomes clearly apparent when, you know, the car loses all power on account of the zero fuel, not even fumes left in the car. I can only blame myself for this. All the way through the career, I've made mistakes, stupid mistakes like this, this is what makes me think I should do the career again, now that I've learned. I know in real life there are no do-overs, I completely and utterly get that, but here we go, look, there you go, down to the 0 mark and boom. Very little control. I had to move the car back into the pits by pressing the start button, which is a bit of a cheat, I'm sure. And then yeah, this isn't the end of that, by the way. I had to go to the pits, go out, all it did was put up some fuel in the car, didn't change the driver, didn't change the tyre, so I had to go out, go all the way around the circuit and pit in again. And by the time I came out, look, last place. I was on the verge of lapping someone, got overly excited, completely ruined it and came out in last. I can't express to you, I couldn't possibly convey my own personal shame and disappointment with this. I should have done better, I should have known better, but I did not. I made mistakes, I need to learn from them. This is the issue I'm going to have when it comes to not just getting quick around the circuit. I do feel I've improved remarkably with the driving itself, which is a massive, massive positive. Surely that's the bulk of it, actually learning how to get around the circuit. You know, I haven't shied away and just gone in a higher gear and gone round very slow. I have tried to pound. I know I used the racing line, but I'm away from that now, which is it's kind of a proud moment for me. I'm not going to lie. It is kind of a proud moment. However, I need to do better. I need to... If I get rid of the mistakes, there would have been more podiums this season. That's what upsets me. That's what upsets me. So I feel I should do this again. I am going to do the championship first, however. Taking the knowledge that I've learned now, acknowledging that I make mistakes and need to pay more attention and, you know, more care. That's what needs to happen there. Not just get excited because I feel I can lap someone. And then look, at this point, I'm just frustrated. I'm not keeping my cool. I'm ruining everything. It's all going wrong at this stage, all going wrong. So I need to iron out those mistakes. Once I've done that, which I will do in the championship. I'm just going to focus in the championship and try and win. I'm hoping there's a team with an Aston Martin car. That way, we can remain in a car of the kingdom, and that's important. That's very important. I have, however, just realised that we've gone past the pit stop and not done the usual shout-outs. Now, just to make you all aware, there is another pit stop upcoming. You have to use all 3 drivers, so don't be alarmed. The next pit stop will be, in fact, where we give the shout-outs to you all, my good friends. My good friends. I will trim the video down somewhat going forward. At this point, we are a quarter of an hour in, which means there's probably only 2 people watching from everyone that ever watches. So, to those folk, hello. Hello. I'm happy you made it this far. I hope you're not overly irritated by me, and I do hope you've been entertained. Entertained. I'm not sure that's something that's happened, however. I hope it is. But anywho, we're going to do a bit more of the racing look. I'm going to back off a little bit, just so you can hear the sound of the car. This is the finale of the season, so I do want you to enjoy the sound of the car, and it's not going to be my usual jokey thing, where I say, you know, enjoy, and then 2 seconds later remember that there's something I've not told you. There is still more politics to go, but we'll do that after the shout-outs. We're going to double up bite-sized politics, I call it, bite-size or share size. That, like a Kit Kat of politics. Just break it in half and give a bit to your friend. Give a bit. Oh, I did like that corner. I did realise, though, to be fair, if you overhang the curb too much, it did sort of drag you round but slow you down, so you had more control but less speed, and speed is everything. You know, power, and all that. See, this time I was very cautious going around that corner. I think I learned from before, but anywho, I'll let you enjoy the racing, and I'll come back to you in the pit stop for the shout-outs. Well, enjoy. And there we go, as promised. I gave you the time until we got to that pit stop. No, I'm only joking with you all. I will give a bit of time to watch the race going forward. I didn't realise the pits were coming up so soon. But as I said, time for the shout-outs. First and foremost, the Yorkshire Hero. The Yorkshire Hero. I do love your work, sir. I've watched all the videos, all of them, they're fantastic. I'm fantastic. I urge you all, that's the Yorkshire Hero, do go over there and watch this guy. It's absolutely remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. And my friend Wackass is saying, it's getting close to the new FIFA release, so obviously Wackass will be on it. I urge you all to get over there and get subscribed now. You don't want to miss out. All the information will be right there when you need it. All of it will be right there. And my good friend Bob Flange here at Two Road Gamers, he's made some absolute classics already. Honestly, you've got to go and watch the Prison Architect game. I don't normally swear, but I was pissing myself with laughter. Pissing myself. It was absolutely brilliant. I do urge you to go and watch it. And don't forget, over in Leicester Marp, all sorts of shenanigans going on over there. We've got The Walking Dead. That's getting very exciting now. That's been absolutely brilliant. There's the F1 over there. And Bob and Inside, I do urge you to watch it. The final episode. Wow, that just summed up that game for me. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well, as you can see, I've left the entirety of this incredibly boring pit stop in there for you all to witness. This is what happens where you play the game, and obviously it's time to get a quick bit of juice when all of that goes down. And by juice, of course, I mean coffee. You know, fuel up. Fuel up as much as you can. I don't particularly like the energy drinks. I'm yet to have one that I find tasty. Not quite like the Dow Egberts. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Pure indulgence. My favourite. My favourite. Well, going forward, now that we are on the, this is in fact Priti Patel, I mean the sleazy politician that's driving now, and that, this will be seeing us out until the end. So I am going to trim the video down somewhat. You will notice a hop coming up shortly, and I'll have a few more in there before that, because there's no point leaving this running to 25 minutes. Ultimately, it'd just be me, well, waffling on quite substantially, so, there's no point in that. So, I am going to back off for a little bit, however. I will give you a full lap to watch. Enjoy!
some light damage at the rear of the car.
Like I said, my friends, warts and all, that was the worst lap I had in this entire race, and that's why I wanted to show it. Those of you that have managed to stay this far, at least you get to see what happens when it doesn't go well. And that time, it didn't go well. There's not a great deal of point showing much of the rest of the video, so I'm just going to skip to the end of it now. We do finish in 15th position. I don't even think we see another car right until the very last lap, and there's no chance of catching them. It was remarkably boring, but I did want to get the race finished, and I didn't want to just cheat and do a restart. Even though the race was only 30 minutes, I'm not going to lie to you, I did consider it. I did figure I could win this race, and I did want to finish the series on a high. I assure you I did. It would have been lovely to be on the podium for the very last race, even not in first position, but somewhere where we get a medal, just something nice. But that, sadly, my friends, that didn't happen. What happened, like I said before, my own foolish mistakes. I will learn from this. I will learn and I will move forward. I will educate myself better on the game. I guarantee within 1 year's time I will be ready. I will be ready to compete with the people that are very, very good on this. Probably not the pros, and when I say compete, I don't mean win, I mean just be there or thereabouts. But I do need to work on a few things. I need to work on my concentration and my focus, that's essential. I need to stop getting giddy. I need to stay calm. I need to not get angry when I get nudged around the circuit. I need to be a calmer racer, I need to be smoother. I did realise through the game, the damage on the car, you do start to notice it. The car itself starts to slow, gears don't change as quickly. Downforce doesn't seem like it's always there, so damage definitely does have impact. Definitely has impact. Now, when I do the championship, going forward, I've decided that I'll do it at this level that I have been, because I've only been on the podium once, so I'll still play in medium difficulty. If I start to do well, if I start to get on the podium quite regularly, at that point I am going to change the difficulty settings. I will raise them up, I will make it more and more difficult for me. But the first step was getting rid of that racing line. I know I've mentioned it a few times, however, I am quite pleased with myself, I don't want to lie, I feel kind of chuffed. But like I said, I need to get away from the emotion in the racing. I need to try and be calmer, smoother, and just better all round. But I will remain unforgiving. That's one trait I don't think I'll have the option of getting rid. Now, even though I said I'm going to cut it all over, I'm not going to bother. This is in fact the end of the race. As you can see, we are on the countdown now. The leader has finished. And at this point I was very disappointed with myself, I really was. I did try and put in a fastest lap, but even that didn't happen. Too much fuel in the car at this point. I was being overly cautious, so I just slowed myself down. Everything went completely tits up. That's what happened. I need to utilise practice properly. Obviously, getting rid of the racing line though, practice is now predominantly taken up by just learning braking points, just learning the circuits themselves. Throughout the championship, I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm not going to, play much more of the game outside of the Sundays. Like I said, I will try and find myself a week down the line just to absolutely hammer this and learn at least 2 or 3 circuits incredibly well. Obviously the ones, like I say, that are on the Formula 1 circuit, that's fine. I pick them up anyway, I still play the F1 game. I genuinely enjoy that quite a lot. This game's a lot more stressful, however. A lot more focus is required. Whereas F1 is quite smooth and you can just enjoy going around the circuit on this sometimes. Don't get me wrong, when you string it together it feels absolutely fucking epic. It really does. I was taken aback. Going from the pad to the wheel was a massive plus. Part of me is contemplating looking at the Fanatec's and things like that, but I don't want to spend £1,000 on something until I'm very, very good at it. But down the line I do feel that equipment will make sense. What a fantastic way to finish the fucking race that was. That's the level of frustration I have there. Not a great way to end. Not a great way to end. I am sorry guys, as I said, I did contemplate restarting the race and try my best to finish on a high. Well, if you've liked what you saw, which presumably you have if you've made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification icon, that really helps us out quite a lot. But thank you for all of your support throughout this entire series, it's much appreciated. Well, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.